Picture this. You're strapped into 3,400 pounds of American steel flat out at nearly 300 kilometers an hour down Conrad Strait. The car is bucking over two crests floating, going light, and then the road just vanishes. You crest McPhillamy, you turn into Skyline, and the entire world drops away beneath your front splitter. A 174-meter plunge down the side of a mountain, gradients as steep as 1 in 6. Concrete walls close enough to touch, with zero, and I mean zero, room for error. This is Mount Panorama, and here's the part that'll do your head in. The blokes who've mastered Daytona, who've won at Talladega 3 wide at 200 mile an hour, come here and suddenly look like L-platers on their first driving lesson. 16 people have died on this mountain. Darrell Waltrip, a 3-time Cup champion, a legend, got taken around here as a passenger and said, and I'm quoting, "It's impossible. I lost my lunch, and I didn't even have lunch. So why does the mountain break the world's best NASCAR drivers?" Let's decode it, right? Let's get into the machinery, because this is where the story really starts. A NASCAR next-gen car weighs 3,400 pounds with driver and fuel. That's about 1,542 kilos. Now compare that to a Gen 3 supercar, the Mustangs and Camaros that own this place. Minimum weight, 1,335 kilos. So the NASCAR machine is carrying roughly 200 kilos of extra timber up the mountain. On an oval, that weight is your friend. It plants the car, it carries momentum. But Bathurst, the mountain absolutely punishes weight, and here's the mechanical reason why. Every time you turn into a corner at Bathurst, you're not just turning, you're fighting gravity on a 1 in 6 gradient. That extra 200 kilos wants to keep going straight, keep going down the hill. It loads up the front tires, it triggers understeer, and it hammers the brakes. And the brakes are the real killer here. Even with the next gen's beefier road course package, the 328mm plus discs, Brembo builds for the twisty stuff, you're asking a heavier car to scrub off speed on a plunging, off-camber descent with a wall waiting at the bottom. It's a physics problem you can't set up your way out of. And here's the messy part. The next-gen car was actually designed to be better on road courses, independent rear suspension, sequential shifting, more mechanical grip. But drivers were genuinely shocked by the steering feel when they first tested it. The car has so much mechanical grip that it changes how you have to attack a corner entirely. But weight and brakes aren't the only thing holding them back, because there's a piece of this puzzle that lives entirely in the driver's feet, and it's the one thing money can't buy. Let's talk about Shane Van Gisbergen, SVG, the Kiwi. This bloke is the Rosetta Stone of the whole debate, because he's done what almost nobody has. He's dominated both worlds. 3 Bathurst 1,000 wins, a record-breaking Supercars championship season. Then he jumps to America, wins on debut in Chicago in a Cup car, and in 2025 he wins 5 of the 6 road course races on the schedule and takes Rookie of the Year. That's not a fluke, that's a translation. And the thing he's translating is a technique most NASCAR drivers have literally never had to learn. Heel and toe, old school right foot braking, where you press the brake with the ball of your foot while blipping the throttle with the edge of your heel to match the engine speed on downshifts. Max Verstappen described SVG as a crazy right foot braker. NASCAR's own social team posted his footwork and called out that he's one of the very, very few Cup drivers who genuinely heel-toe downshifts. Most of them just blip the throttle and chatter the rears. Now here's why that matters at Bathurst specifically. The modern next-gen car has a sequential gearbox you bang up and down through the gears almost like a motorcycle. No finesse required. That's fine on a wide American road course with runoff. But at Bathurst, coming down Skyline into the Dipper, off camber on the edge of a cliff, the car that rotates cleanest wins. SVG's footwork lets him load the rear axle perfectly and rotate the car into corners where a NASCAR regular is just praying the front end bites. SVG himself reckons his rivals actually overthink the right foot advantage. That's the arrogance of a master. And if you're sitting there right now noticing these technical gaps, the weight, the brakes, the footwork, then you're not just a fan, you're an insider. You're reading this race the way an engineer reads it. That's exactly who this channel is for. Hit subscribe and join NASCAR Nation Decoded, because the deep dives only get sharper from here. Now, here's where it gets genuinely dangerous. Let's talk about the walls, because this is the part that telemetry doesn't tell you. When a NASCAR star races at Watkins Glen, or COTA, they've got acres of runoff. Make a mistake at COTA, you run wide into a big asphalt or gravel trap. You gather it up, you carry on. The margin for error is huge. That's the American road course, template-wide forgiving, built to modern FIA safety standards. Bathurst is the exact opposite, and it's not close. This is a public road for 51 weeks of the year. The Essies, the Dipper, Forest Elbow, these are lined with unforgiving concrete inches from the racing line. There is no runoff. There is no gravel to save you. You get it wrong. You don't spin harmlessly into a field. You hit a wall. And the history proves how brutal that is. Chaz Mostert, a proper steer, a local hero, clipped the inside wall in the lower S's. In 2015 qualifying, ricocheted across the track, and it ended his season with leg and wrist injuries. And that's a driver who knows this place intimately. In 1994, Don Watson blew a brake disc trying to slow for the chase, had no way to stop, and it cost him his life. 6 of the 7 car racing deaths at this circuit happened on Conrad Strait, and it's chicane the fast bits, where a heavy car and a big shunt is a genuine death sentence. Now put a NASCAR rookie in that environment. A driver whose instinct honed over a career tells them a mistake means a spin and a slide. At Bathurst, that same instinct gets you into the fence at 250K. The mountain is suffocating, the walls close in, and your brain, trained on wide open ovals, is screaming that there's no escape route because there isn't one. But can any of them actually overcome it? Here's the verdict. So, can a NASCAR star ever win at Bathurst? Let's be brutally honest with the data. A pure oval-bred cup driver dropped in cold? No chance. The numbers say it plain. 200 kilos of extra weight punishing the brakes on a 1 in 6 descent, a footwork technique they've never had to master, and zero margin for error against walls that have killed 16 people. The learning curve on this mountain isn't a curve, it's a cliff, and it's called Skyline. And this is the whole point, SVG has already proven the reverse crossing is possible. He went from Bathurst to winning in NASCAR, which tells you the raw skill absolutely transfers if the driver is willing to relearn from the ground up. So the real answer is this. A NASCAR star can win at Bathurst, but only if they stop being a NASCAR star. Only if they surrender the oval instincts, learn to heel and toe, and spend real seasons, plural, respecting the mountain instead of attacking it. Someone like Kyle Larson, a genuine all-rounder who wins in anything with wheels, is probably the one current Cup name with the natural feel to eventually crack it. But even Larson would need years, not weekends. The bottom line is this: Mount Panorama doesn't care about your trophy cabinet. It doesn't care that you've won the Daytona 500. It has humbled wall trip. It's injured local legends, and it demands a completely different craft. That's not a weakness in NASCAR drivers. It's a testament to just how special this ribbon of road across the top of a mountain really is. So here's my challenge to you, the elite analysts of this channel. Will the Cup Series ever produce a driver brave enough and humble enough to conquer the mountain? Is it Larson? Is it someone we haven't even seen yet? Comment your pick below. Tell me who's got the ticker to tame Bathurst, and subscribe to NASCAR Nation Decoded to stay ahead of the garage, because the next great crossover story is already being written. This is the mountain, and it bows to no one.